Well, the economic impact study conducted by the LSU Ag Center was a big factor, at least to port commissioners, in helping Louis Dreyfus land the port contract. The study concluded that with Dreyfus operating the elevator, Louisiana farmers would receive as much as $33 million a year more for their grain. This week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson shows us how some of that money will find its way back to you.
Man, I farm everywhere. You got a little piece somewhere?
Damian Glazer is always looking to expand his 2,300-acre soybean and wheat farm. With those as his main crops, harvest time means Glazer has to send his grains to an elevator. And at one time, that elevator was Cargill at the port of Greater Baton Rouge.
We used to have lines of trucks, and they tried to help us out. And in the recent years, it's it's like they shutting down at 3 o'clock in the middle of harvest.
But now it's Cargill who will be shutting down permanently as Louis Dreyfus Commodities takes over the grain elevator in April. That's right at the beginning of wheat harvest, so Glazer hopes officials at Dreyfus will lean on personnel already familiar with the operation of this grain elevator to make a smooth transition.
They got some excellent workers at Cargill, and I hope they stay because they do have some good guys that work there that I've been knowing for the last 15 years while I was farming. But the upper management, something needs to be changed, and I'm glad Dreyfus is coming in to hopefully see that change.
Getting this ready for some cane here.
David Bollock with the Louisiana Farm Bureau Marketing Association says if Dreyfus does make this grain elevator a flagship exporter, the road ahead could be a little rough.
Yeah, we're going to have our difficulties, I think. I don't think there's any question about it, because until they get their volume up, if we have one of our tough years with poor quality, it's going to be a challenge. And I know there'll be times where we'll be grumbling and wondering about, Cargill being there and everything, but again, the key is the future.
Dreyfus is going to be looking for grain, a lot of grain, and for them to get the amount of grain that they need, they're going to have to up the bases, and the same thing with Cargill down the river and Zeno. Everything's going to go up.
Up by about 30 cents a bushel for farmers, according to the LSU Ag Center. Bollock says with agriculture as the base economy for much of rural Louisiana, you'll see the benefit through higher local tax revenues, increased land prices, and more business at local stores.
As farmers go, much of rural Louisiana goes, and this, I think, will be a plus in that area.
And Glazer can then afford to buy that next piece of land so he can better feed you. In Point Capee Parish, I'm Avery Davidson for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
If you'd like to read the LSU Ag Center's economic study and the proposal by Louis Dreyfus, you can visit our website, twilatv.org.